Good afternoon. Thank you so much. It's live music again. Isn't that amazing? Well, the first piece we're going to perform for you is called Zerbina by French composer Bernard Andrés. And don't be nervous. This piece was written in 1991. However, he beautifully combines romantic melody with contemporary devices throughout this piece that just makes it that uniquely French sound that you try and put your finger on. And so we're going to demonstrate, we thought, before we play this piece for you today, a few things so that you're listening out for them that I thought were quite interesting myself. And but I should state that he was self-taught at the age of 8, and he was his older sister, of course, inspired him to learn piano, and then he went on to learn the harp, playing with the Air Force Army Orchestra. Now this I found interesting, and maybe Rick will find this interesting too. From 1969 to 2005, he played with the Army Air Force Orchestra. So I found that amazing. So a few of these devices I'm going to play for you, and I'm going to put the microphone down so I can play them. But there is use of many, many harmonics throughout. So a real note and then a false note, some pizzicatos, and then one of my favorite things called colegno, which means with the wood of the bow. So I'll demonstrate that right now. This is harmonic. So there's quite a few of those throughout, and then some lovely pizzicatos that happen, and then colegno is with the wood of the bow. So that's a lovely thing. And then, but since he was a harpist, he put quite a few more. We pared it down to 3 to show you today, but 3 of these devices, but he was very meticulous in putting in his music everything that he wanted. So here are a few things that Tasha will show us.
Hi, good evening, everybody. One of the techniques he did was creating a sound by playing on your nail. So it's not as warm a sound as, but it does penetrate for sure. The next one that he did that a lot of my students love doing is called the xylophone effect. And basically, you dampen the strings at the base just to get a more muted sound. He also did a technique called sans pisser, which means to pinch the strings. As opposed to.
Great, so we hope you enjoy Zerbina, which means creativity, curiosity, charm, and friendliness. So enjoy Zerbina.
Thank you. My name is Linda Bento-Ray, and I'm so happy to see all of you here. Tasha and I have been doing this for a while together, and we have a really fun program for you. And we're so happy that Carl Ann was willing to share the program with us. She's great. So I just want to tell you a little bit about the pieces we're going to play, since we don't have programs, and I'm going to refer to my cheat notes. So the first piece we'll play together is called Intermezzo from Carmen, the opera Carmen. And its intermezzo is a little in-between piece. So this piece was written for Carmen in 1873, and it was premiered in March of 1875 at the Opera Comique in Paris. And this little piece takes place between the third and the fourth act of the opera. Thank you. Our next piece it's kind of an interesting piece. It's the Sonata in G minor, supposedly written by J.S. Bach. But in the 1980s, a manuscript was found in Germany, and the manuscript of this piece was actually written by J.S. Bach's son, Carl Philipp Emanuel. So it's an early work of Carl Philipp Emanuel. It only has 3 movements, where most Bach sonatas have 4 movements, but it resembles the Baroque era. So scholars think that it was probably encouraged by J.S., but attributed now to CPE. And if you know a little bit about music history, CPE, throughout his career as a musician, he was a violinist, he became quite an improviser. And he really started the galant style of the classical area, which is very virtuosic. And so this piece is not really like that. It's more like what his dad would have written. So anyway, we're going to play 3 movements of Sonata in G minor by whoever you believe wrote it, J.S. or his son, CPE. I didn't mention to you that poor Tasha, that's a piano part that I kind of asked her to play on the harp, which is not a real fair thing to do, but she did a great job, so thank you. So our next piece is Romance for Flute and Piano by Camille Saint-Saëns. And it was written in 1871 for the renowned French flutist Paul Tafnel, who was really good friends with Camille Saint-Saëns. It was originally written for flute and piano and later thankfully transcribed, which I can't say, obviously, for flute and harp. So this is an actual flute and harp arrangement. Easy for me to say. turn it over to Tasha now, and she's going to play a couple of tangos for you, and I'll be back.
Well, there's a bunch of different stories I could tell you about these two selections. One is a tango, and the second is a seguedilla. And I just love the word seguedilla. I like the way it feels in my mouth when I say it. It's a lot of fun, seguedilla. And they're both written by Carlos Salcedo. They're from the Suite of 8 Dances. Salcedo was a major pedagogue for the harp and a major instructor, and he taught at Curtis for many, many years. He actually taught my teacher that I studied with in university many years ago, and he had a very direct relationship with most of his students, to the point where her last name was Leatherman, and he said, "Are you kidding me? You're not going to go out into the world with that kind of last name. I'm going to change it to Lohman." So he had a major, major influence upon the harp world. In fact, there's an actual harp, this not being one, but there is an actual harp that's designed with him in mind, that was called the Salcedo model. It's an Art Deco column versus what you see in front of you. The first tango, the colors that come to my mind are reds and oranges and things of that nature. And the second, the seguedilla, I actually arranged a little bit and changed the ending on. I know you'll enjoy both. Thank you very much.
This next piece is for opera lovers, and it's very recognizable. It's by Massenet, and it's the Meditation from Thais. Has anyone ever seen the opera? Silence. No one has ever really. However, this song is very recognizable. It was written in 1894, and again, it's an entr'acte. It happens between the scenes, but you must know it's about a monk and Thais, the beautiful hedonistic courtesan and a follower of Venus. So the monk tries to persuade Thais to be followed and saved by God, and she follows him into the desert. So this is the music for that moment in time. We hope you enjoy the Meditation by Thais.
don't have my program memorized. I panicked for a second. All right, so to lighten things up a little bit, our next piece, written by Frédéric Chopin, was written when he was 14 years old, and he wrote it for his amateur flutist father and dedicated it to his father's friend who was also a flutist. So this is called Variations on a Theme by Rossini and by Frédéric Chopin at 14. that piece is a giggler to me, I don't know why. And when I play it, I think, yeah, amateur my butt, that's no amateur piece of music right there. But anyway, sorry. Our next piece, getting back to civility here, is a piece that I want to dedicate to my dearest friend, Deb Keaton, who's sitting kind of in the front row, who, I don't know if you know Deb, but she's a vocalist in Sarasota, and she's extraordinary, and she, up until the virus, had a regular job with Madison's, actually 41, and Madison's City Grill with her jazz ensemble on Sunday nights at City Grill downtown. But anyway, I actually played this piece with her at a restaurant one time. I sat in. So I've been dying to play this for you. And it's Reverie by Claude Debussy. And it was written in 1890. And it's one of his most famous piano solos. And it's been transcribed for all different types of instrument combinations. It was written as a meditation. Debussy was so proficient at creating dreamlike states in his music. And this edition in particular was transcribed and edited by Irvin Monroe, who was the principal flutist with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra for 40 years, and a great contributor of flute repertoire. So, Reverie by Claude Debussy. last piece on the program is called Paquito, and it's written by Andy Scott, he was born in 1966, so he's a relatively young person, and he lives in England, and he's a saxophonist, reed player, doubler, and world-renowned composer. And he's married to Lauren Scott, who is a very high-level harpist. So he's written some beautiful repertoire for flute and harp. This piece originally was born to be played by 12 clarinets. And it's an homage to Paquito de Rivera, and it's a fast salsa with a 2/3 clave, if you know what that is. Debbie could tell you what that is. I don't even know what that is because I'm a classical flutist. But anyway, it's really fun, and we love playing it, and we hope you like it. And before we end, I just want to thank you so much for coming and to let you know how happy we are that we got to play for you today, because it's been a while. So anyway, Paquito.
So if you feel comfortable, we'll put our masks on, and we'd love to interact with you. And if you have any questions about the instruments or any of us here.
Oh, yeah, and a round of applause for Carl Ann. And thank you so much, Rick, for hosting, sponsoring us. Thank you.